Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface on the PTR for patch 6.2. Behind me is my transport ship, which I've just created at my garrison shipyard. That opens up the main storyline, which is going to take you through to the Invasion of Tanaan. And some of you might recognise the docks as the area which we actually escaped from when we were level 90 and first arrived and did the opening segment. Again, this is a massive hint that patch 6.2 could well be the final patch of this expansion's life. And if there is going to be a patch 6.3, then it's most likely just going to be a transition patch into the next expansion. So, you meet up with somebody on the dock, depending on whether or not you're Horde or Alliance. If you're Alliance, you meet up with Yiril. If you're Hordes, you meet up with Drakkar or Dakar, the female orc that's hovering around your garrison. I haven't done too much Horde stuff, and I definitely wasn't paying that much attention when I was, so you'll have to forgive me. The first quest is very basic, very elementary stuff. All you have to do is grab a couple of pieces of intel, and they are on the floor of two different huts, so you don't even have to kill any mobs to grab it. So we could get ourselves into a situation which we've just had, where somebody's been in, killed the dude in the hut, and then everyone else is just running in and looting it. You can theoretically not engage a single solitary person in combat to do this aspect. And the reason why I highlight that is the quest is called the Invasion of Tanaan, and we've seen that Blizzard can do some very good invasion storylines. The two best quests, in my opinion, in Mists of Pandaria were the opening invasion ones when we first arrived on the shores of Pandaria, when you were the Horde in the Alliance and you got onto the vehicles or whatever you were doing, cannons, and then you mowed the opposing faction to the dust, and then the Shah corruption arrived and you had to fight that as well. There's a mixture of both. This really feels like a damp squib, and I'm not trying to be provocative, but it really does. If this is the Invasion of Tanaan jungle, and here are the gates leading into Tanaan, what do I have to do? Well, I've got to destroy a cannon at the end of this road, and I can remain mounted during the whole segment here. Yes, there are soldiers, but obviously the further away I get from them, the likelihood is they're just going to reset. I haven't been dismounted. Yes, you could get dismounted, but I haven't been dismounted. I get to the cannon, and I just use my war banner and drag myself out of combat. Rogues, you could vanish and pull yourself out of combat. That, to me, was so underwhelming, it's unbelievable. If this is going to be the Invasion of Tanaan, I want to come into Tanaan with a bang, not a whimper. I know the whimper kind of goes along with the content in Warlords of Draenor. Everything seems to have petered out to a whimper. But come on, with the opening segment of 6.2, I wanted to be smashing through those gates in my own vehicle, my own cannon, my own demolisher, whatever it may be, and just blow through some, troops running down the road, and you're there just, throwing off burning pitch and tar and all that kind of stuff and setting it on fire. That would have been cool. As opposed to an already open gate and you just driving through it on your tricycle. Not massively fun. And then you just set up camp. That's it. You've automatically set up your base in Tanaan jungle. So I think that's really underwhelming. I'd much prefer to see something akin to the opening questline which we saw in Mists of Pandaria. And FYI, I'll bring up the map for you here. Lion's Watch and Volmore, yes, they are in the same positions of Honor Hold and Throlmar. So you got Volmar, Throlmar. It's, yeah, you get it, you get the drift. It's a nice little homage again to the Burning Crusade. This whole expansion seems to have been a homage to the Burning Crusade and actually never lived up to the expectations of what the Burning Crusade was. So we've got a few quests to pick up here. One of them is now going to take us completely to the other side of the Tanaan jungle map. Again, this is a really odd kind of thing. We've started off at one end, meandered our way up the Path of Glory, or whatever it's called, set up a base without really any opposition whatsoever, and then our next quest, our next segment, is to just fly over the whole of the map, bypassing everything to get to our next storyline. I just find that really disjointed. It doesn't flow for me whatsoever. Why would we set up camp here to go flying off at the other side? If we're going to go over and go to the other side to start a major invasion, then why didn't we just start there to begin with? It all seems very contrived just to get those two bases set up, Lion's Watch or Volmar. That's what it appears to me. But the storyline doesn't connect in my point of view at all. So here we come, coming into land. And to continue the storyline of being disjointed, what we get to do now doesn't, again, feel correct whatsoever. We get to this front, the Iron Front, and then we have our typical Apexis Crystal bar pops up. Yes, you get some Apexis Crystal rewards. Yes, you get some oil. If you're wondering what the oil business is about, that's going to be the resource used in your garrison shipyard. So oil's very important if you want to build ships, or maybe build ships, but it's definitely important when it comes to sending your vessels out on missions. And then, of course, we just got to fill the bar up. This is this new go-to thing which we do. So we just have to fill the bar up to complete this, to get these rewards, but it doesn't interfere at all with the other two quests which we got, which was to speak to the scouts in Tanaan Jungle, and then another one, which is a multi-person quest, but I did it solo, which was to go up to the throne of Kil'jaeden, and then you drop down 5 devices. We'll see that shortly. And you need to do both these quest lines, both these quests, to finish the segment of this Invasion of Tanaan. Now, when you're at the Iron Front, there are multiple ways to fill up your bar, as you would imagine. You can just kill troops, you can burn flags, you can kill elites, you can heal soldiers if you pick up the bandages from the field, and if you see some allied NPCs lying on the ground, you can right click on them and bring them back to life. And there's also a rare which is around the place, and if you defeat the rare, I believe it gives a staggering amount of EXP. It gives like 25% of the bar or something ridiculous like that to complete it. So yes, there are multiple ways of doing it. It's going to eat up 10 minutes or so of your time should you choose to stay here and do it. And due to the fact that you're going to need oil for your garrison shipyard, this is likely the first opportunity that you're going to have to get said oil to be able to send your vessels out on missions. So you're almost, well, this is almost a requirement, isn't it? If you want to play with that aspect of your garrison. So once you have completed the Iron Front area, you can go off and start to find the scouts which are scattered around the zone. They are highlighted on your mini-map very easily if you open up your map as well. If you've got the objectives showing where it shows on the objectives on the map, they are there. So they're very, very easy to find indeed. If you've got an inn in your garrison and you've done the Aviana's Feather quest line, this can come in really handy for just getting around Tanaan Jungle quickly. You can literally go from one scout to the next scout in next to no time whatsoever. And also, due to the fact that there are mobs in this zone are in high concentration, if you don't have the war banner, which drops you out of combat from Mr. Pandaria, I highly recommend you go farm it before 6.2. It's in Valley of the Four Winds, just on the riverside near to Galleon. There's a mob which patrols, a rare mob which patrols up and down there, and they're the ones that have the opportunity to drop it. So go grab those 3 scouts, very easy to talk to, which leads us on to the final part of this quest chain, which is to go up to the throne of Kil'jaeden and lay down these 5 gadgets which we need to do something, record something, I don't know. Now this is a multi-person quest, but as mentioned earlier, I did actually do this on my own. Yeah, you've got to do a little bit of jiggery pokery. I used the war banner to drop myself out of combat a few times. I have a soul stone because I'm a warlock, so I don't mind if I just run somewhere, get myself killed, and then just, you know, res myself back up when the mobs are resetting, or any little tricks like that. Are pretty useful and help you get through this. But if you do have any sort of stealth mechanic for this part, you're gonna breeze through it, because if I can do it pretty much without getting detected, without having any sort of stealth mechanic. Yeah, you're just going to have to go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and it's going to be easy. And once you've done that, again, you can use Aviana's Feather if you have it, or more traditional methods if you don't, and then just return back to your base, whether it be Volmor or Lion's Watch, and hand the 2 quests in. Now, this is where the bad news starts. When I hand the second of the 2 quests in, you'll notice that a blue exclamation mark pops up in the bunker, and I can already hear groans from a portion of my fan base right now. Yeah, unfortunately, this blue exclamation point is just more Apexis Crystal dailies, but in Tanaan Jungle. Which is so depressing, which makes me feel that the bulk of questing in this zone is just going to be going to the different areas, and they are so gorgeous, the areas too, going to the different areas, just doing a Apexis Crystal grind. Yawn, boring. So, the invasion of Tanaan, did it feel like an invasion? Not even remotely. It was really lame the way that we came in. I think that needs to be completely revamped, Liz. You've got plenty of time to do it, so I can't see why not. Make it feel like an event, a special event. If we're hitting the stronghold of the Iron Horde, make it feel that way. Not me riding up a road on a tricycle, for goodness sake, setting up a base. But what do you think in the comments down below? I'd like to hear your thoughts and feelings on this opening questline. And I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. Follow me on social media as well as Twitch for live streaming. Those links are in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.